Hello, hello, hello. This camera's too dang on close. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Jaylee's Corner. I'm, of course, Jaylee. Yes, this light is going to aggravate me, but it is what it is. And thanks for tuning in to this review of the season premiere of season 4 of Power on Stars. Well, okay, first things first. New subscribers. If you have not done so already, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I love new subscribers. I am new to YouTube. I've been only on YouTube a couple of months, and I'm trying to build get my followers up, get my subscribers up. So if you can be so kind, please subscribe to my channel. It does not cost you anything. It just lets you know when I have new videos for on YouTube. So I do a lot of different reviews. So if you have not, please just go ahead and subscribe. Okay, now that is out the way, I have tried to record this review like 5 separate times. Last night, I was just too sleepy and my energy wasn't there. I did 3 last night. I did 1 today, just about 10 minutes ago. But after I recorded it, it was 30 minutes long for one, which was fine. But then I realized my camera cut off before my ending. It like cut off and started a whole new like 20-second video, which was the ending of a video, and that aggravated me. And I was like, well, you know what, Jaylee, just do a whole new one. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to recap the whole show. I don't want it to be 30 damn minutes. But I'm going to go over the things that I thought were important in this episode. You know, it does pick up where I left off. You know, Ghost is arrested. He is being booked, and he's remembering, you know, every time someone warns him about Angela, old monkey ass, and he's having those flashes of, you know, Tommy saying she's a fucking federal prosecutor, or even Tasha saying, you know, you brought this bitch into our lives. So it's a thing of him thinking, you know, well, damn, I have been telling people all this time I had stuff under control, and lo and behold, I really did not. I'm moving my camera around. And he's realizing that he put himself in this predicament. And even though he's not arrested for something he did do, he still did wrong. And he still put himself in this predicament. His phone is ringing, and of course it's Tasha calling him because Tyreek is missing. And, you know, they, of course, won't let him answer his phone. And Angela's like, well, we can send a squad car to your house. And when he stepped to her, like, bitch, I'll knock your head off, is the look he gave her. And it made her step back, and it made her startled. I think on some aspect, Angela forgets James St. Patrick is still Ghost. Like, you know, you need to calm down, little red Corvette. And Angela, for the most part, you helped him get away with a lot of stuff. You know, from last season, you know, there was a point in time where Knox had Luis ready to say who Ghost was, and Angela convinced him not to do it. So that in turn let Ghost be loose, you know, for lack of a better word. And you were so in love with Ghost at that point that you were willing to stick it to Knox, like, ha 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 ha, you know, I told you wasn't going to catch his own up or whatever. And now you're just so against Ghost, and you're just so sure that he's guilty. And the funny part is, he ain't even guilty. You let him get off for shit that he did do, and now you're trying to railroad him for something that he actually did not do. So, you know, he's been arrested, and that's all fine. He does get his one phone call when he calls his lawyer. So that's fine. His lawyer told him to keep his ass closed, which I thought was hilarious. We do see the first shots of Charlie Murphy. May he rest in peace. Look, you can't speak ill of the dead. I'm fully aware of that. However, Charlie Murphy looks sick. Like, and it's almost sad because he looks sick. So I can't even really focus on his acting because I'm thinking in my head, damn, he was sick. He looks that he's very thin. We all know that he passed away from, I believe it was, you know, a form of cancer. And I mean, he looked sick, so that part, was kind of crazy. But Charlie Murphy is playing a correctional officer. He is not a nice correctional officer. He is one who you probably should not fuck with. As we see, he does not like Ghost, where there's a scene where he's rushing off the phone. There's a scene where he, knocks the food out of his hand. And even in the ending scene of the episode, we see he makes it seem as if Ghost is resisting, cooperating with the correctional officers, and they lead him off elsewhere. And Charlie Murphy's character and another correctional officer proceeds to beat him up. Like, okay, you are really fucked up, correctional officer, because of course he's under the impression that Ghost is a cop killer. And cops and firefighters and correctional officers, they try to stick together. So we know sometimes in prison, people who are accused of certain crimes get um, hazed or teased or tortured or whatever it may be. And Charlie Murphy's character seems to be one of those type of officers. So they took his mattress, so he had to sleep on steel. Just fucking with him or whatnot. Um, we found out that Lakeisha's alive, which we knew because Lala had been doing press. And I'm like, she wouldn't be doing press unless she's actually on the season. We find out that Tommy has been hiding her until they handle the whole Mulan situation. So now that Mulan is dead, Lakeisha's free to go back to do, her life and be whatever she's going to be. But does not tell anyone that Tommy was the one who hid her. I think the reason Tommy said that's because he doesn't want to seem soft. He wants people to think he's cutthroat, and if they know that he saved her, he doesn't want people to think that that could be a soft spot for him. So I get it. Tommy does find out. Everyone finds out that Ghost is has been arrested. Tasha finds out by the lawyer calling her. Tommy finds out through Dre. And Tommy also finds out that Tariq has been kidnapped through Tasha, which makes him go visit Dre because he knows that Dre, at some point was the one hanging out, watching, being with Tariq. And when he gets to Dre, he's like, who the fuck is Slim? We know that's who y'all been hanging out with. His sister told us that, y'all been hanging out. Who was this Slim? Because Tariq is missing. And Dre plays stupid. Dre is a pussy. Like, and that's such a foul word. But he's a punk because all you need to do is tell them Kanan is alive. And I don't get why he's still protecting Kanan. You would have more protection from Ghost in them. I mean, Kanan has his crooked ass cop cousin and that other dude. Like, it's not like he has anyone on his team. So you fearing him is stupid when it's just it irks my damn nerve. But Tommy allows Dre to go looking for Tariq only because Dre lets him know Ghost was just arrested by Angela. So Tommy, of course, has to go check on Tasha. So he lets Dre go find Tariq, and we know that Tariq is with 50 Cent's character, Kanan. I do not like Kanan. I do not like 50 Cent as an actor, and he aggravates my soul. And, Dre basically convinces them to let Tariq go only because of the fact that Ghost is arrested and the police would be looking for his son. So this is not the time for them to have him if they're trying to stay out of any kind of bullshit ass crosshairs. But they only let him go with under the intention of Dre paying them $50,000 a week. And Dre, for some reason, seems to believe he's going to be in charge of money. He can scam money up the top. But lo and behold, he can't. Because the other person who they put in command of money is, I can't remember his name right now. I'm going to call him Hector. But he's always been on the season. He's always been like the third in command. He's the only other guy who's been there. And he's like Mexican. He's very cute. But I can't think of what his real name is right now. But he's actually put in charge of the money. So where Dre is assuming he can skim money off top, come to find out he cannot. So now he's up a creek without no damn paddle. But he does bring Tariq home after Tariq is woken up by Kanan, and he's told, oh, what happened? What happened? What happened? And Kanan like, oh, yeah, you went to sleep. And to be funny, Dre took a picture of you and said you were kidnapped and asked for a ransom. Tyreek is so fucking stupid, and I don't understand why he's so dumb and he's in private school. It is come to show that you can't pay for common sense, because he has none. Because no one who I don't know, some person who doesn't know my parents and who's a grown adult, is not gonna tell me I fell asleep. No, you were drugged. Like, you were. No, y'all drugged me. I wasn't asleep. You drugged me. Like, and it's just, and even him believing everything that Kanan says about his dad. It's crazy because if he's telling you we hung out with your dad from the old neighborhood, why hasn't he been around your father? Why is he only around you? Like, kids usually are inquisitive and ask questions. Tariq don't ask not no questions. He's a dude. He's so fucking stupid. And it's almost to the point where he's so stupid that he deserved to get kidnapped. Like, that's just what, needs to happen. And he's telling, Tyreek, yeah, your dad was also arrested, and whatever he did, whatever he was arrested for, he did that shit. And Tyreek doesn't defend his father. You old punk ass little boy. Oh my god, this makes me so aggravated. But Dre does eventually take him home. Tasha and Tommy are, of course, happy, but Tommy is still wondering who was Slim. And Tyreek comes up with a childish excuse. Oh, I made him up. It's just dumb. And even when he's saying, well, I was just hanging out with friends and I fell asleep and they thought it would be funny. And then Tommy's like, well, whose arm was that in the picture? Was that Slim's arm? Oh, no, that was my friend's uncle. So your friend uncle thought it was okay, let's call your friend's uncle. Like, but Tommy know they lying. And he trying to just not show that he's not trusting because he wants Tyreek to trust him. So, but you can tell that he's just letting them lie to dig themselves deeper in the hole. And he's still questioning Dre, like, dog, who is them? Where did you find them at? And, Dre's like, oh, you should be happy, you trust me. And I call him and he answered, you should be happy because I brought him back. But when he gets into the elevator, you can see he's like, he has a sigh of relief because he know he full of shit. But you can also see from Tommy's face, he don't believe Dre, and he's gonna let Dre dig himself deeper in the hole. Yeah, just notes. So that is the part, that's whatever. We do see Angela and Tasha finally have their conversation. Tasha, not Angela and Tasha, and Tasha and Keisha have their conversation, and it's a conversation of, I needed time because I was pissed at you because you were smuggling drugs through my shop and you didn't tell me. And as they're talking, and Tasha's like, it's like I'm living in a nightmare. And as she's talking, it's the slow motion turn to her turning, and who is walking in? The FBI. And who also walks in? Angela. First of all, bitch, what you at my house for? What you here for? Ain't no other damn FBI agents who can come up in here and look through my house. Why do you have to be here? I would have checked Angela all up and through my goddamn foyer. She wouldn't have made it a foot past the goddamn elevator. I would have first made sure everyone knew you was fucking my husband. And not only was you fucking my husband, you was fucking my husband knowing we were married. And now you're prosecuting my husband. There has to be some kind of conflict of interest. I would have took them to task about why is she involved in this investigation. And she was literally involved with the person y'all arrested. It is so fucking stupid. And I would have been Keisha also if that was my friend. Give me the word and I'm gonna light that bitch up. Like, just say go and I'm going. But Tasha was like, no, I don't want you getting arrested for this bitch. Which is also smart. Which is why I would have talked to her any kind of way. I would have went off on her and said, get this bitch the fuck out my house. I would have embarrassed the fuck out of Angela to where she would have never wanted to step foot in my house. Because she walked in looking around at the lap of luxury that they were living in. You were coming over to be nosy, bitch. It had nothing to do with the actual case. You could have sent anybody else over here. It did not have to be you. And that is the part that aggravated me. And so we had that whole scene. Okay, that's fine. What else happened that I was like, I wanted to talk about? Dre is a fucking liar. And Dre ain't shit. I went over that. Charlie Murphy, I went over that. Ghost in jail. Tasha does go to visit him because they're trying to get bail money. but they don't have any money really because he spent most of it, and they can't use drug money. It has to be legal money through their legal businesses, and he used that money to do club shit and did not tell Tasha because of course they weren't on the best of terms. And when she goes to visit him in jail, when Tasha first, when the show first came on, like first season, I didn't think she looked like a wife. But in this scene, I'm like, she played. I don't know if it's that she grew into the role, if that it could be that it's been a couple of years, so she's just a little bit more mature. I was like, she looks like a wife. She's acting like a wife. It was just a good scene for me, for her, talking to Ghost and saying, the kids are upset that FBI raided the house. Raina was upset because Angela was there. We don't have any money. I can't take money against the trust because of the penalties. Just giving him what's going on, and he, of course, feels bad. He thinks he can just say, when I get out, I'm going to make it up. And Tasha's like, you can't, because you can't make it up, dude. You can't. She does mention that she did find the diamond necklace that she knows was not for her. And when she said, should I sell it? He says, well, wouldn't be enough money. He then remembers, get the money back from Dean. And even I was like, who the fuck is Dean and what is he talking about? And he just kept repeating, Dean didn't do his services, get the money back from Dean. Dean was Mulan. They did pay Mulan through their company to be security. And because Mulan is now dead, they can get that money back legally through their business because it's a refund to their company. So he was thinking like, we need money. This is the way to get it, and it can be legal. So they do have all that stuff worked out. So that part does work out. I'm hoping I'm covering everything because in my head I just don't want this to be too long of a video. But the episode was really, really good. Let's see. Tommy does put Hector in charge of the money. Dre does know that he's not going to be in charge of the money at all. Like, at all. He also realized that he doesn't run the club because as he's at the club, shining up dishes, Hector, as I'm going to call him, because I cannot remember what his name is, comes in with a girl. And he's like, okay, she's going to work here. And you need to train her to make drinks. Like, that's what you need to do because Tommy is in charge. And until Tommy says different or until Ghost gets out of jail, this is what's going to happen. And when Dre asked Tommy, like, why wasn't I, put in charge of the money or whatever, he's like, you've only been here for a couple of months. Hector has been here, putting in work for a long time. Why would you think that we would put you, second in command? He's like, but I tell you what, if you tell me who Slim is, we can talk. Because again, Tommy knows Dre ass is lying, and he not even trying to, oh, my battery died. And he's not even trying to listen to the bullshit of it. But of course, Dre is not gonna tell them that Tommy that Slim is Kanan, which I just, it makes me so mad. So even when Dre takes Kanan the first piece of money, he's like, look, I can give you as much money as I can. I just need you to stay away from Tyreek. Like, that's what I'm paying you to do. Stay away from him. Of course, Kanan says okay, and then what does he do? He texts Tyreek. What does Tyreek do? Yeah, man, when can we hang out? It's just so fucking aggravating. It's just so fucking stupid. What else? I think that is about all that happened that I wanted to touch on in this video. Again, it was a great starting episode. Oh, no. The most crucial thing, Ghost not getting bail. Ghost lawyer, I'm guessing this is for TV because ain't no way in hell that me as a first time defendant, I'm not guilty. This is just a bail hearing for something I'm accused of with a lot of circumstantial evidence. It ain't no way that he should have been remanded in jail until his trial. No way. No way. That's something that like a public defender would get because they don't know what they're doing. You are a paid, high-priced lawyer. You should have been objecting to them saying, oh, he's a menace to society. He's, protection against the public. He doesn't have a record. He's accused of something. Everyone is innocent until proven guilty. The fact that the judge did not allow them to at least do house arrest is crazy. But I get Ghost getting arrested um, on one episode, and then when the season comes back, he's on house arrest. That's not as entertaining. It's not as fulfilling. So they want to have some time of Ghost being out of his element. Ghost having to be in jail, and dealing with it. I do think him being in jail will make the episodes entertaining because it is an element of what he can't control and how he can work from behind the walls of jail. So that part I do like. I get the reason they did not let him out, but still, that I mean, I would he could have at least kept objecting, and then the judge could have still did her own thing. But I did not like the fact that it wasn't even any objections to him being on house arrest, or the fact that he is not a convicted murderer. He's not a convicted whatever. He's just a business owner with 3 kids and a wife and businesses. And the fact that they made him out to be this cold-blooded killer, and like it was just crazy. Like, oh, it was just so aggravating. But I'm happy this season will be different. Ghost will not be in control as much, and it also would give a chance for the other characters to build their own storylines, because they're going to have to rely on Tasha, on Keisha, on Tommy, even on Proctor, his lawyer. So I like the fact that it's going to make them have more parts, more roles. I hope that Kanan's role does not get any bigger. Again, I am not a 50 Cent fan. I really do wish they would have picked someone else to be Kanan, and he would have stayed behind the scenes as producer, EP, director, or whatever. I get distracted a lot by him as Kanan because I still see as 50 Cent. But that is the ending of this episode where Charlie Murphy, I'm sorry, Charlie Murphy's character, the correctional officer, like him and another correctional officer, like beat up James St. Patrick in like a empty hallway because they think he's a cop killer or a DA killer, but it's basically a law enforcement person killer. So they're fucking with him. But Charlie Murphy was very thin, and I think they should have like let him stand back and watch somebody do that versus him doing it himself. Just my personal opinion, and again, it kind of throws me a little bit how sickly he looks in this role. It is a little bit of a distraction, because it's so weird. May he rest in peace, because he's not around, but it does make me realize, damn, he was sick. So the ending scene of him like, you resisting, and they lead him off elsewhere, and then they beat him up, because he's a bad correctional officer. So that part to me was a little bit crazy. But I believe that is everything I wanted to handle or cover. Until next time, thank you for tuning in. This is Jay Lee's Corner. I am, of course, Jay Lee. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so. And I hope you like this rambling of a review. My iPod died, so I could not look at my notes all the way up like I wanted to. And please, if you have any comments, drop it in the section below. Peace.